The Cultural Council met Monday night to discuss multiple items on their agenda. The council talked about their next meeting on June 7th and maybe making it an in-person outdoor meeting depending on the weather. They want to have it in the picnic area outside of the Norwood Theater and bring along their Cultural Council sign to recruit some people who are interested. Next, they discussed their community input survey and made sure it was equipped to be available. Again, the next meeting will be June 7th, and that start time will be determined depending on whether it's in person or online. The Selectmen met with representatives of UAV LLC on Tuesday night. The Selectmen discussed their concerns with the current condition of the safety parameters on the property.
Our focus is a more narrow one, or it might be narrow. Basically, we deal with fall protection, and by fall meaning people, falling off the edge and down 50 feet, literally falling. That's what comes within our purview.
In my letter in November of 2020, I requested that some kind of fall protection be provided on the proposed shear wall that would be constructed for the final project there. That wall, which would be constructed into the ledge, would have a drop of anywhere from 30 to 60 plus feet. And as a matter of safety, some kind of fall protection should be put on top of that wall. And that was part of the conditions of the Zoning Board of Appeals.
The Selectmen's jurisdiction on this matter is limited to public safety. Selectman Donahue expressed her frustration on the matter.
Here in the town of Norwood, we're fortunate enough to have one of the best town engineers in the whole Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And I rely upon him and I trust him. He has asked for some additional information that he, in his wisdom, a dentist takes care of teeth, a doctor takes care of this or that. In his engineering, this is a very particular aspect of engineering, and it doesn't come up often, but we need some additional information about it. Now, I know that the people who are doing this project are really good people, and I know that they want to maintain a safe and profitable project. So it would seem that they should understand that their piece of land is part of the town of Norwood. And in the whole community here, we try and work together, and we try and help each other out. And the Walker Company next door, they're trying hard too. But how would you like to have, like a well dug on the edge of your property with a 60-foot drop that anyone that comes on your property could fall into? Now, Attorney Bailey, you said that it would be a big job. That's all you have to do is put up 2 posts and put a chain up at night, or do something like that on the inside of the property. It doesn't have to be a big expensive deterrent. And I've asked the owners of the property, how much would this study cost? Probably not more than $5,000. How many millions and millions of dollars have they made on the project already without a permit for all those years? Now it's time to measure up and time to pay for the study so that we can have the information that we'll need to put up the proper fence that they'll have to put up as according to the Board of Appeal decision at the end of the project. We don't want to be adversarial. We want to be protective. And we're asking for your help.
The Board of Selectmen have continued the hearing for 90 days. The Selectmen will meet again next week. Also Tuesday night, the Zoning Board of Appeals started off their meeting with the Pine Street case continuance about an addition, and the special permit was approved by the board. Next hearing was another continuous hearing from April 20th. The current lot is the old Sky Restaurant, which would be changed into a used automotive building. The board motioned to continue the hearing for the special permit to June 1st, which will give time for town council to look at it. The next case was for a new garage on Walpole Street, which had previously been destroyed by a fire. The ZBA voted to close and approve the application with the condition that the second floor of the garage is for storage only. The final case was a hearing for a special permit to allow a Ninja Warrior or parkour type center on Boston Providence Highway. The board motioned to approve this special permit for the Ninja Warrior Center, which hopes to be open by mid-August. The next meeting will be held June 1st. The final meeting of Tuesday night was the Library Board of Trustees. During the correspondence portion of the agenda, Library Director Clayton Cheever shared a letter written to him by a patron regarding the helpful staff.
The other piece of correspondence that I had was a piece of mail that came, and I'll include a scanned copy, but I welcome the opportunity. It's actually about one of our employees, our very part-time employees. It usually just works the odd Saturday, but happened to be working on a Saturday recently and made really a difference to this person who wrote me a letter saying, "Dear Mr. Cheever, I met reference librarian Stephanie." It was Stephanie Young for the full name. Yesterday, when she helped me find an article in Consumer Reports. The hard copy of the April issue is missing, and Stephanie printed an online copy. You should be aware that she's very professional, polite, and did not hesitate to help, and she did all with a smile. I'm now living in Westwood, but I lived many years in Norwood. The Norwood Library is still my favorite. I'm sure you're aware that the staff of the Norwood Library is terrific, but I wanted to recognize Stephanie specifically. Best regards. So I love the opportunity to say glowing things again about our staff because they are truly stellar. So.
The Conservation Commission was the other meeting of Wednesday night, starting at 7:30. The board held 4 public hearings, 3 of them being notices of intent, and were all approved for projects on Walpole Street, the Short Street, and Washington Street intersection and Willett Pond. The end of the meeting was consumed by CPC updates and a Norwood Trails update given by Holly Jones. The board elected Steve Washburn as the next chair of the Conservation Commission, with Kristen Capizio as the vice chair. The Conservation Commission will meet again in a few weeks. The town is continuing to prepare for next week's town meeting. Monday night was the town meeting remote training session for town meeting members. The focus of the night was to properly train new and former town meeting members on how to use the Zoom platform. Also during the presentation, members were shown how to pre-register for Monday's town meeting and how to complete their registration. Wednesday night, town meeting members, along with government boards, convened to review the town meeting warrant that will be presented at next week's virtual town meeting. After the warrant review, there was a Q&A session where questions were fielded by town meeting members in an effort to be as informed as possible going into next week. You can watch night 1 of town meeting live at 6:30 p.m. Monday night on the NCM government channel or online at norwoodcommunitymedia.org.